What do you smell? You sure are cute, Miss Kitty.
Thank you.
Hello, Americans and other friends and subscribers around the world. How are you?
Good.
I'm great. Back again. Thought we'd I was just out here. We've been working on knives all day today. I think she's working on Lonnie's right now.
Well, I've got actually
Two.
I got a handful, but two of them here are one of those is going to be yours, Lonnie.
Yeah, she's gonna.
I guess you can't really see that one.
What she does, I just got the handles all made up, pinned, and of course did the blades, and then so after we get it all done, she's gonna actually cut some boxes and stuff, because that's what Lonnie's wanting to one for, and see which one she thinks is the best for that, and then send that out to him. I got all the she didn't want her name said on there.
Nope.
I got all the all the handles set on.
Are you treasure hunting?
Yeah, my own junk. But got you're shaking your head. Well, yeah, look at that. It's like, wow, that's cool.
What is that?
But got all the handles set, roughed in and set, and so I'll have that other knife set out here pretty quick. Got another one that we'll have on tonight, but because whichever one doesn't go to Lonnie.
I've got more than one.
Yep, that other one.
This one?
Ours. Oh no, I guess you're gonna have two on tonight.
Yeah.
And then I just made Miss Kitty a
new a special knife.
special.
Just for me.
Yeah. So that's her new mushroom hunting or foraging knife that I actually made myself one, because I sold that last one that I was using. So these ones, man, we're actually gonna stamp them and
burn my name on them.
burn
so
them with our name so I don't sell them.
Yeah.
That way I can show, because I have so many people stop, when we're out and about and stuff. So that's, and I always thought, man, I should have one of my knives on it so I can show it. But anyway, I would say that too. Anyway, I noticed that in my video. We were sitting there and I was just telling her, because we were sitting here having a cup of tea a minute ago, actually iced tea, and saying I probably just wasn't gonna, didn't really, I don't do just videos just to do a video, so I wasn't really gonna
force a video.
Yeah, force a video or do one today. And she reminded me that we completely forgot and stopped doing our This Is Us videos. So, so we're going to, I gotta put my glasses back on. We're going to, it's going to be a quick one. We ain't going to go and talk about, well, might talk about it for a while. But, so anyways, we're going to do the This Is Us again, and we left off, I think, I didn't look back at the
but we were in the motorhome.
videos, but yeah, we just sold off everything and bought the motorhome. All right, so here we go.
Here we go.
So we got the motorhome and moved into it full time on when?
December.
Wasn't that late?
Yes. Yeah, I was having coronaries. December 16th, 1997.
Wow. Well, that was a stupid time moving to a motorhome.
Yep.
Is that the same year it froze up on us now?
Yes. No, I think it was that winter.
That January, February.
Yep. And yeah, we have full-on winters here.
Yeah, but the plan, obviously was to get in the motorhome and head south, and we didn't. We actually never really got out of the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
We're actually still wanting to go down to Quartzsite and the big flea markets and stuff down there eventually. But
more to shop though.
Yeah, more to shop, not set up. Because at this time, if you haven't watched those videos, like I said, we've been, I've been flea marketing since I was 14. Me and Miss Kitty have been setting up and selling at flea markets for the 27 years we've been married. And then I started doing it full time, like completely full time. When Kevin D, the year before Kevin D was born.
Yes.
Because she got on bed rest. I think we talked about this in those other This Is Us. And I started selling like that. So at this point, when we move into the motorhome, I did my year that I told her. And because she told me I had to do a year with the kids. So I'd take all them kids. I think I talked about that.
Yeah, you did.
Okay,
absolutely.
so,
So we're in the motorhome.
I'm just going to do the whole thing.
We don't need to backtrack.
Okay, so we're moving into the motorhome. So, with our stuff, and I got a little cargo trailer that I built. And we head off and actually started doing Christmas because it was December.
Yes.
So we went over and did some Oregon shows and some
indoor.
Yeah, indoor shows all over
shows
the all over staying within probably 300 or 400 miles of of Boise or Idaho and stuff.
At one time we had a map that we outlined every single road and everything.
Yeah, because we'd take back.
I don't know what happened.
Because we'd take back paths and all this stuff. So we made it through, and that mosquito.
Yeah, the mosquitoes are out.
Yeah, they are, and ticks. So we trekked around and did all these shows, until just pulling it through to which I mean at this point we didn't have a gob of money, but we had a little bit of we had a small little nest egg to buy and all that. And so we'd go do these shows in other towns, of course, stop and hit the thrift stores, and restock. And we'd always, one of our goals at any show would be to score a half dozen things at the flea market that we were set up.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, at least that we could, that would be new.
Take to the next
one. To the next one, just to, if you sit by and sell stuff, man, just having a few new things just gives you that extra little boost, and stuff. So, man, we traveled around doing that. The mosquitoes attacking
I know. I got spray on.
Kitty. But, so we did that, got through the winter time, and then we started doing, like over Sumter, Oregon, and big flea market over there. And, I was going to tell what stories was that? Strawberry Mountain Ranges after we've been living there for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Well, the first year was pretty uneventful. It was really smooth.
Yeah, everything was just like...
The motorhome was running great.
Yeah, no problems.
Everybody, even the kids, just kind of had that relief of freedom, and we were just really enjoying it.
That was great. Yeah, man. Really homeschooling the kids, because that was when we first started homeschooling the kids.
Yeah.
And, that first... all the way through the second winter. Other than that first winter, not knowing. I mean, I know trailers, but
well, we just thought that we could.
Oh, I'll tell you the first one. You might not even remember this. The first night that we had, got rid of the house and everything, and we took off, and I don't remember where the heck we were, and it had central heating and everything in it. And we went somewhere, it was cold or whatever. I don't think we got, 100 miles away or whatever. But all night, man, it's cozy, man. We're in there, and my mom and grandma had got us that 12-volt
TV
VCR, so we're sitting in our little motorhome watching movies and all that, man. And we go to bed, and it's nice and toasty, and wake up at, I don't know what time it was, man, and it was cold. And I went to start the motorhome, and it was dead. And what they'd done, on a motorhome, you have your, the way it's supposed to be, and I didn't know this at the time, but the way it's supposed to be, you have your motor, I got bugs on it?
No, sawdust.
Oh, sawdust. So you have your motor compartment, and your battery that starts your motor, and then you usually have, at least 2 deep cycle batteries that run your unit. Well, this bozo that I'd bought the motorhome, and he was something, but he's all right.
Yeah.
But it turned out all right. There's a few issues in the whole thing, but anyway, but he had put everything on to just the man. Like I said, I didn't. I knew trailers and camp trailers and stuff, but I didn't know all the ins and outs of. That was the first motorhome I ever had, and but everything was running off of.
I thought I was picking the camera.
All right, so we had some technical difficulties. Batteries went dead in the other camera, the new Canon. And I love that thing, man. And it films great and everything. But when that mother goes dead, it's got 3 batteries.
It does, but I wasn't actually able to charge the other 2 batteries. I didn't know the charge.
Let's check that out. Yeah. But anyway, so we got that one went dead, so we got it plugged in and got back out here with this one. So I think Miss Kitty checked, and I was talking about how I know the camp trailers, not motorhomes. And so we woke up and man, just deader than a doornail. So we were in a Walmart parking lot or a rest stop. I can't remember where. So I got out. There's an old boy that He just happened to be there, man. Good old boy, and got a jump start. And from there, we went down, obviously, with our little nest egg, and used a little chunk of that, a couple $100 of that, and got some new deep cycle batteries and put them in, because there was the compartment and everything for him. The guy just didn't have dang batteries, and I guess I wasn't smart enough at the time. Yeah, and I wasn't smart enough at the time to know.
Yeah, we were pretty young.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but I did. I had bought that book on RV living. I should look.
Did you read it?
Yeah. And then later on down the road, I learned about using golf cart batteries and all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah, and jumping them different ways.
Right. So then we were getting into the heater thing, and I can't remember. I think we still used that central after we got the new batteries, but we'd make sure and turn it off at night and stuff like that. And I can't remember what we were doing with the. I think I had a little catalytic or something. Anyway, we used this little heater, and I'll give you a point and a tip right now. As my old buddy Pineapple, he was a old Hawaiian boy, and man, we were friends for years. Pineapple and Jackie, man, they were just awesome people. And I'd heard Pineapple had passed away a few years ago, and I hadn't seen him in quite some time, but we set up at shows and stuff together for, I don't know, a long time, man, long time. And anyway, I got a walking stick in there that I'll tell the story. Yeah, it was motorhome days. I'll tell the story about sometimes that he gave me too. But anyway, so Pineapple, man, I'm telling him this story or whatever up in Sumter or something like that, and he's all, hold on a minute. And he'd always give me stuff too, man, because he was he's native Hawaiian and real spiritual guy, man, just awesome. I just missed that guy.
I know.
But anyway, he says, hold on a second, and he goes in, and they actually lived in a conversion van with a little pop-up and stuff like that, man. And he sold, and he tried to get me, and I actually listened to him and followed his son. That guy only hauled display cases. He had those nice aluminum display cases, and he'd stack them up in the back of his van. And he's all, man, you're carrying all that junk. Because, man, to us, it was like moving a house. We did a 20 by 30.
Well, depending on where we
where we were set up, but all the time, 10 by 20. 10 by 20 was the smallest. And he's all, man, you do all that. And he'd set up in a 10 by 10, his tables, and it had all these display cases. And he's all, man, you're hauling that. What do you get for that lantern over there, man? What you getting for that? $35? He's all, man, see this piece right here? $150. And I'm just like, dang, man, that's the way to do it. So.
Yeah, he had that piece of, was it quartz? What was that? A big pink ball.
No, that was Steve that had that. Steve traded that.
No, that was the opal.
Oh, was that?
No, that was Steve had the big opal.
Steve traded that opal for a van.
No, Jackie and Pineapple had a big pink.
With the eye in it, and he was showing us. I think I remember that. That was something.
That was like
You just interrupted my thing, my story.
Oh, that's in my memory.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Sure.
There's some good, man. They were just awesome. We spent so much time. I could just sit there and talk about Pineapple and Jackie all day. Yeah. But anyway, so he's all, well, hold on a second, right there. I got sidetracked on the selling stuff. But so he goes over and he gets in his van there, and he comes out and he's all, here you go. And he always liked to test me, to see what what my reaction would be. And he hands me a flower pot. He hands me a clay.
Plain old.
Yeah, plain old. Man, it actually was kind of it almost had a cake look to it,
like
but
a
plain old fire pot, or a flower pot. The old clay terracotta type. And so, man, I'm looking at this. Man, I'm all. Okay.
Okay, what is it?
And he's all, you know what that is? And I'm all, yeah, it's a flower pot. And he's all, nope. He says, that's an Arizona special. And I'm all, oh, really? Well, what does that mean? And he says,
cactus.
I'm thinking all this. Wow, okay. I knew there was going to be some knowledge there. And he's all, here's what you do. And he flips it upside down, and a clay flower pot's got the hole in there. And he's all, yeah, in the bottom actually.
Yeah, well, but it isn't.
But you flip it upside down. He's all, you flip this upside down. He's all in that motorhome, and you put, he says you might need two for in your motorhome, so you might pick one up. But he said put that on your propane stove in there, and it's called the Arizona Special, and you just turn it on low or medium, and it turns your stove into a a heater, you know, a ceramic heater. And then, man, we used, and we haven't camped in a trailer for a while, but we have used, and we have passed that knowledge on. My mom, my grandma, and man, you don't know how many people are running around now using an Arizona Special, man. So try that. Just be careful with the kids. And our kids never once messed with them.
Anytime you use propane, whether it's for heating or for cooking, ventilation.
Yeah, always use ventilation. Something I always did on all, and I do them on any trailers that I'm using, is I can go into other stories, man, because I actually saved a guy's life at a flea market because he was an old guy. Cecil? Or Ty. His name was Ty. He sold wind chimes, and this was actually over at Cascade Flea Market. And, you know, he had this huge, man, 10 by 20, 10 by 30 section of wind chimes. You know, and Ty, man, he was kind of a grumpy old guy, man. And, man, he sold wind chimes like you would not believe, man. And he was not. I mean, he was a pretty raunchy old guy.
Yeah.
You know, he passed away too.
He wasn't super friendly. You know, he was friendly to people that knew him.
Yeah, he was really friendly. I mean, he, you know, liked us. He'd always try to throw, you know, he'd have to go to the bathroom or run in to get something to eat, you know, and he'd always try to hand me, you know, 20 or 30 bucks. I'd be like, no, Ty, you know. You ain't got nobody watching, man. I can keep an eye on her or whatever. So anyway, I get there, man, and, you know, and I'd always sell wind chimes for him, and I'd just hold on the money till I seen him. And, man, we were there, and it was, man, it got to be probably, I don't know, 10:30 in the morning, and haven't seen Ty come out. His van's there, and his camp trailer's there, and, man, I'm selling his wind chimes and finally, I told Kitty I'm gonna go over.
You better go.
I'm gonna go see what's going on with him. You know, I mean, he's pretty dang old then, man. And so I go over there and knock on his door. Ty, nothing, man. So finally, I just reached up and it was unlocked, and I opened up the door. And man, when I opened the door, the propane and the air was gone, man. It was like this, and man, of course, I just bust up in there and start shaking Ty, man. And I mean, he is just. Oh, man, just almost gone. Man, and I'm picking, he was just a little dude, man, probably 115 pounds or something, you know, so, man, I kind of help him up, and, you know, to the camp trailer, and get him out the door, and as soon as the air hit him, he collapsed on his butt in the, not in the booth, but on the, remember we were stepping out of the trailer, and basically I just sat him down on the edge of the trailer there, and then he started breathing, and, oh my God, you saved my life. I mean, it was crazy, man. I mean, if I wouldn't have went in there when I did, then it would have been over for him. And then I can tell a couple other stories of, you know, friends. But anyway, back to the I always got to tell you all my stories, man. I wonder. My mind's all over the place. But anyway, about the propane, how dangerous the propane is, something that I always do is I always take and make a little small wood block, and I'll block it to where you can't close the vent completely, you know, just screw it into place. That way when you bring your vent down, you know, it comes back, because you got a little lip that sticks up and your vent goes over like this, and I'll make it to where it comes down and this will go over, so you're not going to, you know, the wind's not going to catch it, blow your vent off, but not to where it goes all the way down to where it seals. And I've never had no issues of water or anything coming in them vents with it, you know, open that much. So, and of course we always crank them up when we're, you know, set up. But so, man, always watch your vents. I don't know how I got on that, but anyway, that's with any heater. That's not just the Arizona Special, but the Arizona Special, man, is an amazing. We still use it today, and what really bummed us out is when we made the move from down there to up here. We still had the original flower pot that Pineapple had gave us, and it had been, you know, baked so many times, man. It had this patina that, I mean, you can't even, I mean, it was just a clay flower pot, but it had this glaze, and, you know, just all the years, because that was probably 20 years or something of using it, and it got broke when we were moving up here, so that kind of bummed us out. So there's one little story of the things. So then when you did the shows, man, everything was, you know, pretty good, and the shows were good. That was, is that about the time eBay started?
No.
It was just starting to.
I guess I'd have to Google to.
Yeah,
I don't really don't.
Well, I mean, when it like took off. You know, because I mean, it was going around. People, oh, you should try that eBay and stuff like that. You know, I don't need that crap.
Yeah, because Mike was doing eBay.
Yeah, but he didn't start it until
right away. Right.
And that's, I mean, then he started doing it and then stopped doing the shows and was doing just the eBay. I don't know, there's one little story. I'll try to put together a little bit more. We wanted to throw pictures and stuff, but it was just something to video.
Yeah. Well, we were just visiting about old times, sitting here having our tea, and thought we really should get back
doing
on
that. Well,
so
we'll try to get back on and do these. This and that. I mean, the motorhome days. We'll, you know, we actually lived in it full time for 5 or 6 years. I guess it was about 5 years, and then it blew up. Then we had to hobble it back in, and then we lived in a motorhome for about, I guess it was when we rented the shop, huh?
Yes.
So then we rented a shop and lived in a motorhome on the side of the shop.
Well, then, well, we probably should.
Yeah, we're jumping way forward now. Yeah, there were some not so good times after that, but the motorhome days, and it's funny because even when we were going through it, you know, man, there was times that they were not so great. Yep. And we were like, dude, someday we'll look back and, you know, you'll think of them as good times and you completely forget the bad. I'll tell you one that's kind of in between. We'll probably end up skipping around, and there's no way to remember all these. And to go in, you know, you figure 5 years of living in a motorhome. Well, old Red, buddy old Red, and he actually, you know, let him put a trailer and stuff on the property here. But old Red, after our first year in, he decided he wanted to try his hand in the flea market. Flea markets were not for him. He was too cheap.
Yeah, he was not a.
He's not a
seller.
No.
That's not his forte.
No. But so anyway, so he decided, you know, so I'm all right, man, come on. So he followed us for 3,000 miles, and I'll never forget. We're in the middle of the national forest, and was that
in between shows?
Was that Coley Campground, or was that we were up? No, we were in the national forest when we were
McCullough's
10
in the
days.
National Forest.
Yeah.
Are you talking about when
we had the ignition?
Mount Hood. I think that was McCullough.
Oh, was it? Okay. But anyway, so we're up in the national forest in Oregon. You know, got our camp and everything set up. And we'd set it up, and we'd kind of do like we're doing here. You know, we'd set all our tables up, man. We'd make a lot of Native American type stuff, you know, and it was crazy. You know, we'd go out and find rocks and sticks and, you know, make
jawbones.
Yeah,
whatever.
jawbones, and just make, you know, all this stuff, do a little leather work, beadwork on it and stuff, and sell the crap out of it, man. This was in the late 90s, man. That stuff sold, you know, wall hangers, and I mean, just crazy. And then I was making like twig signs and doing this. But anyway, so we're set up at this campground, and
been having problems.
Had been having a problem with, man, the motorhome, and it would just die. And then, you know, man, then you'd have to play with the ignition, and then it would I'd get it to fire up. So, man, I'm like, what the heck? Well, we pulled into the campground in the National Forest, man, and we've got 10 days or 2 weeks till the next show. So, you know, we're going to do our thing and get stuff ready for the next big show. And when we pull in there, motorhome just conks out, man, and I cannot get this thing to start up. Or was it still? It was still, or was it? I don't know. Anyway, man, it was not doing good.
It had to be fixed.
Yeah, it had to be fixed.
So
I'm like, man, Kitty, I think that it's this dang ignition in the steering column. You know, because that's what it seemed like, what was shorting out and stuff. So, man, I start tearing the steering column away, or apart. You know, and I pull it out, and I get the whole ignition, you know, mechanism or switch out of there, and you know, man, it's all factory sealed up and stuff like that. And yeah, 3rd time's the charm. Holy crap, man! Now the memory card was full on this camera. We got what, 5 cameras on this property right now?
Yeah.
Holy smokes! All right, so I just checked to see where it went full or whatever, and we're at. So I pulled this. So I pulled the get the ignition, factory sealed ignition. you know, out of the steering column, and you know, unwire it and stuff. Man, I'm looking at it, and you guys don't know old Red and stuff, and man, I love the guy, but he's got me in some pretty crazy predicaments sometimes, and he just does stuff sometimes without really thinking about it, I guess, or something. Just an old farm boy. So anyway, so, and I'll always give him something to do, because he's one of those guys that's just right on your shoulder, you know, so I'll always, hey, hand me this, or here, check this out, or something like that, you know, to give me a little air. And so he's standing there, you know, looking over my shoulder, man. I'm looking at this, and he's, you know, him-hawing about it. He's all, let me see that. You know, and man, without even thinking, because my mind is on the wiring and stuff like that, because the ignition switch itself seems to be working. You know, I got it out of the key mechanism, you know, and everything seems to be turning right or whatever, and he's all, let me see that. So I just hand it over my shoulder like this, and I go back to the wiring and stuff, and I'm looking at these wires and stuff, and then it dawns on me of just what I just did. I just handed my ignition to my motorhome to Red. So as I turn around to look to tell him to give me that back, I see Red, and I had a screwdriver sitting there that's pretty much a pry bar, and as I turn around, I see him going out, and he's got that screwdriver jammed in the factory sealed ignition, and he's going out the door, and I'm all, hey, and I get up and I turn, and just as I go through the door, he twists and pops that thing in half, and it exploded. Little springs and parts, you know, plastic parts and everything that's in the ignition just explodes and just lands all over the ground. And now, if you ask him, man, these days, he says he took one look at my face and thought, dude, he's going to kill me.
I'm a dead man.
I'm a dead man, is what he says. He thought, dude, I am a dead man. So he freaking just looked at me, and he sat the screwdriver and what pieces was left, turned around, and just took off walking. I did not see Red again, and it was 4 or 5 days. But I did not see him again until he heard that motorhome start, because he was camped down probably 200 or 300 yards.
Yes, we did get it started.
Yeah, but now I'll tell you how. And so then, yeah, I guess I went ahead of myself. And what we did is we told the kids, do not, you know, go in this area, man. We put, you know, chairs and put this line thing around this huge area, and we started picking up pieces. You know, I'm talking little, I don't know if you've ever been inside a ignition. You know, it's about like that, just loaded with parts, you know, that makes it all turn, and springs and plastic little things and all this. And Miss Kitty, she loves doing puzzles. So we laid down a towel, and we just started setting the pieces up there on this towel. No idea of how, no book on it.
No book.
No book on it, no nothing. Sat it up there on this towel, and we started picking up springs.
And how we find all the springs?
And then we ended up taking the magnets off our fridge and popping the magnets, you know, and they'll have that little hole in it. And we strung hemp through the holes and sinew and stuff, and we'd go around like this on the ground, and you know, and it was all dirt and needles and you know, everything, and did this, and we'd pick up little pieces and screws and all this stuff, and just put it all on the table there. And it was getting in the evening, so like I said, we kept the kids out of that area. The next day we got up, and I think we picked up, you know, and just, man, fine-tooth combed this whole area for hours, and got it all on that thing, you know. Well, actually, Kitty had already started playing with, you know, getting the parts. You could tell, you know, went where and stuff like that. And so she started putting that all together. Well, I went in the motorhome while she was putting her puzzle together, and man, I'm looking at the wires, because we'd already determined before Red popped that ignition that it wasn't that ignition switch. So I started following the wires, and what it turned out to be is the wiring harness was going down, and there was a wire that had rubbed. It was shorting out on the back of the radio.
That's all it was.
That's all it was. So I fixed that wire, and man, we're good to go. Other than our ignition is in 3 trillion pieces on a towel sitting in front of Miss Kitty. So she sits there, and man, I mean, you know, I mean, obviously we have to stop and feed our kids and, you know, do our thing. And when we lived in the motorhome, we had a rule that every night we took a, you know, unless it was pouring down rain, every night we took a nature hike, and that was part of the science for the kids and all that stuff. So every night we'd take a 2 or 3 hour walk, which we still did that. But other than that, she sat there, you know, doing that while I was getting stuff ready for the next show. What's up, buddy?
And I had no idea if I had all the parts.
Yeah, we didn't know if we had the parts or anything. So finally, she gets, you know, this is days, man, I'm telling you. It was like 3 or 4 days later, and she gets it, and she's like, I can't push it, babe, but I think you got to push it and twist. And I remember that just like it was yesterday.
Push it and twist.
Yeah, we had to push it and twist to get the 2 holes lined up.
Yeah, I can set that over here.
And, so like, okay. You know, so I was also, then what we get to, you know, because we can't, it's all, you know, we ain't going to get it to pop. Yeah, I mean, it's broke, the casing's broke.
Oh, boy.
So I get some electrical tape. I said, okay, I'm going to push it and twist, and then you just start wrapping some tape around it. And she's okay, man. So I push it and twist. Miss Kitty starts wrapping tape, you know, and gets it to hold. So then I sit there, man, I take it after we get it, you know, where it's together, man. And I mean, I just tape the crap out of it. And, of course, man, so we've got this part with this big wad of electrical tape on it. It's not going to fit back in the hole, you know, and it's got this little round thing, and then it's got a little lever thing, is where the key and all the other part goes to it. So man, after we get all this, and this is probably 4 or 5 days, you know, we got a show we got to set up in another day or 2. And so I'm like, all right, I guess we'll, you know, give it a try. If not, we're going to have to, you know, wire it up and hot wire this thing and not have have the ignition, you know, because you can hot wire it up there at the console or whatever. But so anyway, so man, I wire that thing all back up, and lo and behold, I turn it, never used the key on that thing again. Even when we got rid of it, we saw it didn't have a key. But man, I turned that, and it started right up. Man, and that was, yep, it worked. We got that thing. That was amazing. So there's a little,
story.
Another little story. And like I said, we'll probably just do, if everybody likes these, we'll tell some more stories. They'll be...
Yeah, we got to get the pictures out. That's what kind of
get some pictures. Yeah, that's what held us up, because I got to dig the pictures out, because I know once we start going through those pictures of
more stories.
Yeah, and that 5 or 6 years in there, and I mean,
crazy dog.
Oh, it was, like I said, man, there was, you know, some tough, you know, some things like that, and now we look back funny and crazy and wild, and I mean,
educational for us.
We had everything from exciting, fun, to scary, and horrifying, to I mean, yeah, man, I mean, crazy. Ran out of fuel one time going up a hill. And I had a trailer on the back.
We had a trailer.
Oh, no, what about the time that his van blew up? And I put trailer, and then the state police were trying to catch up to this. And I had Red had a little, man, it was a killer little snub nose, I think it was a little Ford van. Man, I wish I had that thing now. And his had broke down when we were up by, coming from Sumter. And I wasn't going to just leave him on the side of the road outside of Baker. So I was like, dude, we'll just tow you to what's that, Weatherby? Yeah, Weatherby rest stop. And somebody must have called and reported us or whatever, because not too long after we got there, the state police showed up. But I had my motorhome, which it was a 32-foot motorhome, a cargo trailer, and then chained Red's van up behind that, and away we went right down the freeway.
Was that the time that we put all of his stuff in our motorhome?
No, that was when we left his van at the...
Was it a different time?
No, it was the same time, but we got to Weatherby, and he'd blown the motor up.
Right.
So we put all of his stuff inside our motorhome, because the cargo trailer was full, and then we just drove him and all his junk back to Boise, to his house, because he wasn't living... He'd come out and do a few shows. He was just trying to get into it. He hadn't moved into that other one, because then he got that other van.
Right.
But yeah, that time, so we got to Weatherby. But anyway, we get to Weatherby, and man, we weren't there 10 or 15 minutes, and man, these 2 Oregon state troopers pull in and come over and knock on the motorhome, you know, hey, how you doing? And they're all, we've been looking for you guys. You know, we're like, huh? And they're like, yeah, we're getting reports that you're pulling that blah, 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 you know, and I'm just all, and we're just...
Helping a guy out.
Yeah, he blew up, you know. And anyway, played suit. Didn't get no tickets, no nothing. They told us, don't do
that again. That's illegal.
We'll bust your butt if you hook that thing back on there again. So we ended up leaving that there, and And Red got his buddy and they towed it back into town. But anyway, so we got tons of, man, some amazing stories. It was one amazing ride. So we'll share some more of them with you real soon. And good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again tomorrow. Unless Miss Kitty had something else to say. All right, we'll see ya.
Good Lord willing, and the batteries don't die.
Yeah, that's